Hi everyone, the channel Easy Lecture welcomes you. In our previous video, we discussed time shifting, time reversal and time scaling of a signal, and we discussed those concepts considering a problem which was asked in Anna University semester examination. In this video, we are going to discuss how to find whether a signal is an energy signal or power signal. Here also we are going to take a problem which was asked in Anna University semester examination in the year April-May 2019 under the subject code EC8352 Signals and System Regulation 2017. Okay, now before entering into the video, subscribe my channel Easy Lecture. Now let us go for further discussion. The question asked was, determine the energy and power of the signal x of t equal to t into u of t, then x of n equal to cos of pi n divided by 4. Okay, so this is a continuous signal, this is a discrete signal, and this question was asked in 11th A part and this question was asked in 11th B part. If you have not studied this energy and power signal part for that particular examination, definitely there is no other way than leaving that question. Okay, so you might have found difficulty in answering the question because in both the parts the same question is asked. Okay, so this is just an important topic. Okay, so here we have got continuous signal here and discrete signal here. Now let us discuss the formula to find the energy and power of continuous signal and discrete signal respectively. For continuous signal, this is the formula: E equal to integration of minus infinity to infinity x of t the whole square into dt, and to find the power we use this formula. Power P is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 by 2t integration of minus t to t x of t the whole square into dt. Okay, so if the case is a discrete signal, then we use this formula to find the energy. E equal to summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n square, and to find the power we use the formula P equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation n is equal to minus m to n x of n square. And some may have a doubt why there is a plus 1 here. Okay, so the reason is, when we talk about discrete signal, we have samples. Okay, so let us consider that the value of n as 2. So from minus 2 to 2 we will be having samples, and we will be having samples like this. Okay, so from minus 2 to 2 the time interval is 2, minus of minus 2 is 4 time units, but we should consider the sample at the point 0 also. Okay, so minus 2 to 2 the time unit is 4 units, but look at the number of samples: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should consider the sample that is available at point n equal to 0. So for that reason, so because here we have to consider the number of samples and not the time period, and since the number of samples are considered, we are having here as 1 by 2n plus 1. So this is the reason in the formula why in the formula we have got 1 by 2n plus 1 and the significance of plus 1 in the formula. Okay, so this is the reason. Now if the question is a complex signal, for the complex signal, instead of x of t the whole square, we find modulus of x of t square. Okay, so this is the change that we have to make if the signal is instead of being a continuous signal, if it is a continuous complex signal, we have to use this formula: limit E equal to minus integration of minus infinity to into infinity modulus of x of t the whole square dt. Okay, so the same is the case for calculating power also. Okay, now let us discuss this problem. The question in this problem is x of t equal to t into u of t. We are very well obvious that this is a continuous signal, and we are using the continuous formula. Okay, so energy of a continuous signal formula to derive the energy of this signal equal to integration of minus infinity to infinity t into u of t the whole square dt, and we know that u of t is a unit step signal, and the signal has magnitude 0 from minus infinity to 0, and it will be having a valid magnitude of 1 from 0 to infinity. So here we are changing the limit from minus infinity to infinity to 0 to infinity. So integration of 0 to infinity, t square into 1 is t square into dt. So when we integrate t square with respect to t, we will be getting t cube by 3, and we are applying the limit interval 0 to infinity. So infinity cube minus 0 cube the whole divided by 3, that becomes infinity minus 0 the whole divided by 3, that becomes infinity. So we have got energy as infinite. Okay, now let us find power. So power, we are applying the power of a continuous signal formula here. Limit t tends to infinity, 1 by 2t, integration of minus t to t, t into u of t the whole square dt. Okay, so again the same, applying the property of unit step signal, we can change the limit from minus t to t to 0 to t. Okay, instead of minus t to t, it becomes 0 to t, because from minus t to 0 the signal is 0, the magnitude is 0, there is no signal available in that period, in that time interval. So we are applying the limit as integration of 0 to t, t square into dt. Okay, now we are integrating it, t cube by 3, it becomes t cube by 3. So t cube minus 0 cube divided by 3 the whole divided by 1 by 2t. So we will be having 1 by 2t into t cube divided by 3, and when we solve this, we will be having t square by 6. When we apply the limit t tends to infinity, it becomes infinity square divided by 6, which is equal to infinity. So in this case, both the energy and power have become 0. Since energy and power are 0, we can come to the conclusion that it is neither an energy signal nor a power signal. Okay, so this is one thing. And one more thing, when we look at the signal, when we look at the question, in the question it is given as x of t equal to t into u of t, and we know that t into u of t is absolutely a ramp signal. So that ramp signal is neither an energy signal nor a power signal, whereas if the question has been a unit step signal u of t, it will be a power signal. Okay, whereas ramp signal, it is not an energy signal nor a power signal, and we have derived it, we have calculated it, and through the calculation we have concluded it. Okay, now let us look into the next question. In the next question, the question is x of n is equal to cos of pi into n divided by 4. To find the energy, we are using the discrete energy of a discrete signal formula, equal to summation of minus infinity to infinity cos square of pi n by 4. We know that cos square of theta can be written as 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2, and that is what I have written here, 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. Okay, so when I take LCM of it, this when I write it separately, it becomes 1 by 2 plus cos pi n divided by 2 the whole divided by 2, because this 2 and this 4 are getting cancelled, and we have cos of pi n divided by 2. Okay, and when we look at this term cos of pi n by 2, let us change the value of n. For different values of n, what happens to this portion of the equation? Let us find it. Okay, it is cos pi n divided by 2. Okay, so I am plotting cos pi n divided by 2. And if n is equal to 0, it becomes cos 0. Cos 0, the value of cos 0 is 1. Okay, and if n is equal to 1, the equation becomes 1 by 2, summation minus infinity to infinity 1 by 2 plus cos pi by 2. Okay, so cos pi by 2, the value is 0. For n is equal to 1, cos pi n by 2 is 0. For n is equal to 2, cos pi n by 2 becomes cos of pi, and cos of pi is minus 1. Okay, then again for n is equal to 3, we will be having cos of 3 pi by 2. Cos of 3 pi by 2, the value is 0. For n is equal to 4, again we will be having cos of 4 pi by 2, and cos 4 pi by 2 is cos of 2 pi. Cos of 2 pi is again 1. And so like that, here the magnitude of minus 1 is, the magnitude of 1 is neutralized by this minus 1. So here we are having the magnitude minus 1. Okay, and here the magnitude is 1, and when we go further, there we will be having another minus 1 which will neutralize this one. Okay, so in this manner the signal, the entire signal becomes 0, because when 1 is added with minus 1, the resultant 0, and here we have summation. So from minus infinity to infinity, this portion cos of pi n by 2, it becomes 0 when we vary the, when we change the value of n. Okay, and here we are adding this 1 by 2 from minus infinity to infinity times. Okay, so from minus infinity to infinity times we are adding 1 by 2. So obviously the resultant will be, when 1 by 2 is added infinity times 2 infinity times, we will be having energy as E equal to infinity. So for this signal x of n equal to cos of pi into n divided by 4, we have got the energy as infinite. Now let us calculate the power. The same formula, we are using power of a discrete signal. Okay, here again I am writing cos square of theta as 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. That is what I have written. Again this will be getting neglected, so remaining things we will be having, so I can reject this portion. We will be having summation n is equal to minus n to n 1 by 2. So minus n to n, from minus n to n it is getting added. Okay, so it is 1 by 2 is getting added for minus n to n times. So it is getting added, minus n to n times means for 2n plus 1 times it is getting added, so that we can write it as 1 by 2 into 2n plus 1. Okay, so we can write this summation n is equal to minus n to n 1 by 2 as 1 by 2 into 2n plus 1, and this 2n plus 1 is getting cancelled. We have limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2. The final result is 1 by 2. So we have got the power as 0.5, which is a finite value. From this we can make the conclusion that since energy is equal to infinite and power is equal to 1 by 2, which is a finite value, we can make the conclusion that x of n is a power signal. Okay, so this is one thing. Then now we are going to move to the next part. How to identify whether a signal is energy signal or power signal immediately on seeing that. Okay, so for that there are certain conditions, we have to be clear to understand that. Okay, so let us consider this signal. This is a rectangular signal, this is a triangular signal, and this is a random signal. And when we talk about this rectangular signal, the rectangular signal, as t tends to infinity both in positive direction and negative direction, the amplitude is becoming 0 after a particular point, and it has a fixed amplitude. Okay, so it has a fixed amplitude of a between minus t by 2 to t by 2, so a bounded amplitude. So this signal is bounded in both time and also in amplitude. Similarly, when we look at this rectangular signal, it is also bounded with respect to time and also amplitude. When we look at this random signal, even this random signal is bounded with respect to time. Okay, so after this point, when t tends to infinity, there is no signal available. After this point, when t tends to minus infinity, there is no amplitude available, and the amplitude of the signal has not raised after this point, so it is bounded. Okay, it has bounded amplitude. So if a signal is bounded with respect to both time and amplitude, both should be satisfied, not any one. Okay, if it is bounded with respect to both amplitude and time, we can conclude that the signal will definitely be an energy signal and it will not be a power signal. If a signal, we already know that if a signal is an energy signal, definitely it will not be a power signal. If a signal is a power signal, it will not be an energy signal. But a signal can be neither an energy signal nor a power signal. It cannot be both energy signal and power signal. It cannot be both. Okay, so from this we can conclude that all these signals are energy signals. Okay, then second condition. So here we have a signal. Here when we consider this signal, as t tends to infinity, the amplitude is maintained constant. Here also, as t tends to infinity and also as t tends to minus infinity, the amplitude is maintained constant. Okay, there is no increase in magnitude. It is bounded. The magnitude is bounded. The amplitude is bounded, but time is not bounded. If time is not bounded but amplitude is bounded, then we can conclude that those signals become power signals. Okay, if both the things are bounded, if a signal is bounded with respect to both time and amplitude, we can make the conclusion that that signal will definitely be an energy signal. Whereas here, if the signal is bounded only with respect to amplitude and not with respect to time, means it will definitely be a power signal. Okay, this is one thing. Then all periodic signals are power signals. Okay, so in the example that we have discussed, x of n equal to cos of pi n divided by 4, it is cos theta, and cos theta, it is a periodic signal. It is a sinusoidal waveform, it is a cosine waveform, so definitely it is a regular periodic signal, and all periodic signals are power signals. So this conclusion we should know, this condition we should know, and the reverse is not true. All power signals are not periodic signals. We cannot make that kind of determination or conclusion from this, but we can make the conclusion that all periodic signals are power signals. Okay, now the next. So look at this signal. here it is an exponentially decaying signal, in the right hand side, exponentially decaying signal both in right hand side and in the left hand side of the reference line. Okay, so of x is equal to 0, right? So for this signal, what happens as t tends to infinity, the magnitude is converging to 0. Here as t tends to infinity, the magnitude is converging to 0. As t tends to minus infinity, the magnitude is converging to 0. Okay, so whatever the signal may be, as modulus of t tends to infinity, that means as t tends to plus infinity or t tends to minus infinity, in both the cases, if the magnitude is converging towards 0, then we can make the conclusion that the signal is definitely an energy signal. Okay, so in the first example, we have got a signal like this. It is a ramp signal, and as t tends to infinity, it is not converging to 0, so that we are making the conclusion that it is neither energy signal nor power signal. So all these points are summarized in this tabulation. Okay, as time modulus of t tends to infinity, if magnitude is converging to 0, we can say that it is an energy signal. If magnitude is constant, it is a power signal, and all periodic signals are power signal. Okay, then if any of the signal does not fall under this category, then we can make the conclusion that it is neither an energy signal nor power signal. Okay, so this kind of conclusion we can make. Alright, so this is what happened in problem number 1. We have got a ramp signal, and ramp signal as t tends to infinity, it is not converging, and also it is not maintained at a constant level, so that we are making, and also it is not a periodic signal, so that we are making the conclusion that it is neither energy signal nor power signal. We have verified that using the calculation also. Okay, so here there is a problem for exercise. Okay, so this is a question again asked in Anna University semester examination in the year April-May 2017. This is a regulation 2013 question paper. The subject code is EC6303. The question is, find out whether the following signals are energy or power signal or neither power nor energy. Determine power or energy as the case may be for the signal x of t equal to u of t plus phi into u of t minus 1 minus 2 into u of t minus 2. So for this, first we have to plot the signal. Okay, so we know that u of t, it is a unit step signal. So from minus infinity to 0, it is going to be 0. From 0 to infinity, it will have an amplitude of 1. But here we have, after time t equal to 1, there is an amplitude of 5. Okay, so from 0 to 1, this final signal will be having amplitude 1. From 1 after 1, it will take the amplitude of 6, because here we have 5 already, there is a 1 here, so 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay, and after 2 we have got u of t minus 2. Okay, so u of t minus 2, it is subtracted from the entire signal, so it becomes 4. The amplitude becomes 4 after t equal to 2. Okay, so we have to calculate whether this signal is an energy signal or power signal, or neither an energy signal nor power signal. So that kind of conclusion we have to make. So on seeing this signal, what conclusion can we make? So as t tends to infinity, the signal is not converging towards 0. Okay, also it is not maintained at a constant level, but it is bounded. Okay, the magnitude of the signal is bounded, it is not going to infinity, it is not going towards infinity, and so that we can make the conclusion that this signal will definitely be a power signal. You calculate this, verify this, whether this signal is obeying with our shortcuts that we have discussed, and leave your comments in the comment box. Okay, if you have any comment regarding this video, kindly leave in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe my channel Easy Lecture, like my video, share my video. Meet you again in another video. Until then, bye. Thank you.